Hello and welcome to FS Golf in Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania. I'm Frank Stranick, and today I'd like to talk to you about shaft fitting, more specifically shaft fitting using the Flight Scope launch monitor. Recently I did a fitting with a fellow some of you may know. His name's Dave Seaman. Dave is a PGA professional and he is the director of the Don Trahan Peak Performance Golf Swing Schools. I went down to Odessa National Golf Club in Delaware with Dave, and we set out to find the shaft that most fit his swing characteristics. We tested 8 different shafts, graphite and steel, and they were all very high quality shafts, and we wanted to find out which one provided the most stability for him in his golf swing. The 2 shafts that I'm going to show you here are 2 of the 8. One of them is a KBS Tour stiff shaft, and the other is a Nippon Modus stiff flex shaft. And as you can see, we were measuring results of swing path, face angle, shot plot, grouping diameter, and shaft acceleration. Flight Scope is a very unique system. It provides abundance of data, particularly the shaft and the head, and the tracking information from that. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple things here. Let me blow this up slightly for you. Here you can see that the path on the KBS Tour shaft was 6.1 degrees and the face angle was 1.5 degrees left. So he was a bit inside out with this, and not quite what he would like to have with that particular swing. So we brought in the Nippon Modus, and by the way, these shafts were all attached to the same head. I just interchanged the head on the shafts, so there was no difference here as far as a head was concerned. When we put the Nippon Modus shaft in there, you can see that the path was reduced by approximately a half, and the face angle went almost to square. So that was a significant achievement in and of itself right there. Next we looked at the shot plot. Where did the balls land in the fairway? And I'll blow this up so you can see that a little bit better. You can see that they're all pretty much right to left, some consistency there. However, they are spread quite wide. So Dave was not really happy with that. He wanted to find something that would give him a much smaller grouping diameter than we have here. Okay, so let's go to the next one. That's a Nippon Modus, and here's a shot plot. Again, you can see that he's still a bit to the left of center. That's another issue that can be corrected. That's a setup issue and a swing plane issue, and that's an item that we can work on separately. But here you can see that the dispersion is smaller than the KBS Tour. And we went on to the grouping diameter. Here's the KBS grouping diameter. Let me bring this back down to here. Small this up a little bit. Okay, the grouping diameter for the KBS Tour, as you can see, is 14 yards. And the balls landed in a bit of a scatter program, but not necessarily too bad. They are close right to left, but they are all right to left, and they are 14 yards in grouping diameter. A little bit large for what a player would like to have, particularly when you're hitting a 7-iron. Okay, here's the grouping diameter for the Nippon Modus, and as you can see from this, it's quite a bit smaller. It happens to be 7 yards. The interesting thing about this one is that when you look at the grouping, you can see that they are all positioned quite close to one another when you look downrange. It's just a matter of, again, probably a little head speed difference here, but not the radical right to left movement that we saw with the KBS, as radical as 14 yards could be. Next, some of the more interesting things we looked at were the acceleration curves. And again, we had 8 shafts here, so we did a lot of investigation into shafts. I'm going to blow this up a little bit for you down here in the corner. And you can see that these are the rate of acceleration curves right here. And notice that you have some that are going up, some that are going down, some that have a sort of in-between pattern. What that's telling you is that there's an inconsistency at the tip end of that shaft, and the shaft is not reacting the same way on each swing. So if you wonder why he had a bit of dispersion with the KBS shaft, well, herein lies most of the answer. Now, this doesn't mean the KBS is a poor shaft. No, it's not. It's a very high quality shaft. But remember, we're looking for the shaft that fits your swing. Somebody else may use a KBS and it may work perfectly. So don't think that we have a shaft here that's of low quality. It's far from that. Okay, now here's a Nippon Modus, and we're looking at the same curve, the rate of acceleration curve. Notice that they all lie basically in the same plane. That's exactly what we're looking for. We want to see a shaft that's going to react the same way each and every time you bring it down and through the impact zone. So from Dave's standpoint, this shaft is ideal, and it would work in his swing pattern because it would give him consistency both in direction and distance, and that's exactly what he's looking for. Okay, so the question for you is, are you playing shafts that fit your swing? If you don't know, then I would suggest that you stop in and speak with a certified custom club fitter and club maker to have yourself tested, particularly if you could find one who owns a flight scope, because that's the only one who's going to be able to give you particularly the rate of acceleration data. It's not available on any other system. And I think it'd be well worth your while. You can find out whether or not you have the proper shafts for your swing characteristics. Everybody is a little bit different, and there are a lot of shafts out there in the market, so you should find out which one works best for you. Okay, I hope this information was valuable to you. If you have any questions about this or anything else in club fitting or club making, you can contact me on my website at www.fsgolf.net or by email fsgolf@comcast.net, and I'd be very happy to answer any and all questions on this subject that you may have. Until then, enjoy your golf. Have a good day. See you. Bye now.